At exactly 5 o'clock in the morning local time on October 14, 2025, a swarm of 17 Ukrainian first-person view drones converges over the desolate expanse of no man's land near Pokrovsk. They behave with the chilling coordination of wolves encircling their prey, having already flown for 6 minutes across 10 kilometers of fiercely contested hostile territory. Now, for the final 30 seconds of their flight, these machines operate completely devoid of human control, stripped of global positioning system guidance and utterly silent to one another on radio frequencies. In just a matter of moments, their highly sophisticated artificial intelligence systems are poised to demonstrate a brutal new reality of modern warfare. They will prove how a handful of off-the-shelf electronic components sourced from commercial websites can systematically dismantle an entire Russian assault brigade, attempting a desperate high-speed tactical maneuver. In the current theater of conflict, where traditional tanks and heavily armored troop carriers have proven sluggish and highly vulnerable to precision aerial strikes, the Russian military command has begun gambling on sheer, unadulterated speed. The objective is to rapidly traverse a 10-kilometer strip of open terrain that has become a veritable slaughterhouse for conventional armored columns. Sacrificing all protective plating in exchange for raw acceleration, these motorcycle troops intend to crash into Ukrainian trenches. Before we continue, make sure to hit like and subscribe. It really helps the channel grow. By riding bare-bones motorcycles, the Russian soldiers hope to survive the crossing, dismount at the trench line, and inflict enough chaos from within the defensive perimeter to allow heavier reinforcements to advance. It is a suicidal sprint, relying entirely on velocity and the element of surprise. However, the lead Ukrainian drone is already tracking them, its thermal camera firmly locked onto the convoy's radiating heat signatures. This is far from an amateur operation relying on simple remote controls. The optical sensor continuously feeds raw data into a neural network that has been meticulously trained on thousands of hours of battlefield reconnaissance footage, specifically analyzing motorcycle assault patterns. The artificial intelligence does not merely recognize the vehicles as shapes on a screen. It intimately understands their convoy configurations, their spacing, and their acceleration habits. Through a grainy, low-resolution feed measuring 640 by 480 pixels, 17 hot white ovals shine intensely against the freezing pre-dawn ground. The onboard heat detection algorithm immediately profiles each individual motorcycle, assigns them unique identification tags, and executes a split-second threat analysis. It calculates that motorcycle number 7 emits a 1.2-watt electromagnetic signature, while motorcycle number 12 emits 1.1 watts. Then it registers motorcycle number 4, which is radiating at a massive 15.7 watts. That discrepancy of 14.5 watts dictates the entire logic of the engagement. Motorcycle number 4 is actively carrying the Shapovnik electronic warfare jammer, a specialized device whose exclusive purpose is to project an invisible barrier of electromagnetic interference. This static field is designed to violently disrupt the video feeds of incoming drones and sever the delicate connection between the machines and their human operators. Therefore, the artificial intelligence immediately designates motorcycle number 4 as the absolute highest priority target on the battlefield. As long as that electronic warfare system remains active, it possesses the capability to completely blind the incoming swarm, instantly turning all 17 lethal drones into useless pieces of drifting plastic before they can deliver their payloads. But this is precisely where the concept of distributed artificial intelligence becomes utterly terrifying. There is no central mission control bunker issuing commands, nor is there a human operator frantically shifting crosshairs. There is no lead drone transmitting orders to the rest of the pack, nor is there any digital communication between them. Instead, there are 17 completely isolated digital brains processing the exact same environmental data, and all 17 reach the exact same unanimous conclusion in the exact same nanosecond. Motorcycle number 4, the electronic warfare jammer, must be the first to be annihilated. This collective computational thought process extends far beyond simply selecting a primary victim. The swarm must navigate the complex physics of converging on a single point without colliding with one another in midair. The flight controllers execute automatic deconfliction algorithms that generate a flawless, three-dimensional impact pattern. This mathematical precision ensures the priority target is struck simultaneously from multiple, overlapping angles, completely eliminating any chance of evasion. while simultaneously guaranteeing that not a single drone clips the propellers of its wingman. It operates on the same principle as 17 expert marksmen, firing at the exact same target from different hidden positions without ever speaking a word to coordinate their timing. Except in this scenario, every single projectile is carrying a full kilogram of high explosives. Miles away, inside a reinforced bunker, the telemetry video link flickers ominously. The signal strength indicator drops to a single bar, rendering merely a ghost of a transmission. At this extreme range, the Ukrainian soldiers sitting behind the screens in Pokrovsk are no longer pilots. They have transitioned entirely into spectators. They are forced to passively watch the culmination of their own hunt, gripping their controllers while relying entirely on the fragile, degrading video feed that streams back to them from the dark skies above the Russian lines. Down below, tearing through the scarred earth of no man's land, the Russian riders have plunged deeply into the predetermined kill zone. Accelerating to speeds reaching 120 kilometers per hour, these riders are effectively operating as armored kamikazes without the armor. They possess a terrifyingly brief window of only 90 seconds to traverse this open hellscape before the mathematical certainty of the drone swarm catches up to them. The interception window for the Ukrainian machines is no longer measured in minutes or broad tactical phases. It is measured in the fleeting reality of the present millisecond. The human operators intensely monitor their flickering monitors, watching as 17 distinct artificial intelligence crosshairs firmly lock onto 17 distinct thermal engine blocks. In exactly 30 seconds, the motorcycle convoy will cross an invisible threshold, and the drones will be forced to initiate their terminal dive. It is at this precise instant that the entire operational profile shifts from a supervised approach to a completely autonomous fire-and-forget methodology. The artificial intelligence will deliberately sever whatever remains of the telemetry link, and the drones will transition to operating purely on their internal logic boards, hurtling toward their designated objectives like predatory sharks that have finally caught the scent of blood in open water. There is absolutely no abort protocol available, nor is there any secondary contingency plan waiting in reserve. A commercial Chinese flight controller, costing a mere $95, frantically executes complex collision avoidance calculations at a rate of 10 times every single second. Utilizing compact ultrasonic sensors, each aircraft generates an invisible safety bubble measuring 2 meters in diameter. Whenever atmospheric turbulence attempts to shove the formation together, microscopic adjustments to the rotor speeds instantly push them back apart. This consumer-grade hardware has performed flawlessly throughout the harsh transit, and now it only needs to survive for 60 more seconds to fulfill its lethal purpose. As the swarm closes to within 3 kilometers of the convoy, the formation violently shifts its geometry. What initially appeared as a scattered, disorganized cluster suddenly snaps into a rigorous attack matrix. It resembles a flock of migratory birds aggressively aligning into a perfect V formation, though this specific aerodynamic alignment has nothing to do with conserving battery power. The sole objective is to maximize the explosive yield upon impact while ensuring zero physical interference between the units. The artificial intelligence has already mapped out the optimal descent vectors, aggressively factoring in the convoy's speed, trajectory, and assigned threat levels. 7 specific drones dynamically allocated to eliminate the highest priority targets, including motorcycle number 4 and its jammer, pitch their noses up and ascend sharply to an altitude of 80 meters. They hover silently in the frigid night sky, completely invisible to the naked eye, positioning themselves for a devastating vertical strike. A rider traveling at 120 kilometers per hour, focused entirely on surviving the treacherous cratered terrain illuminated by his headlight, will never see death descending from directly above. Simultaneously, 5 other drones peel away toward the flanks, leveling off at a precise altitude of 50 meters. Their assigned tactical role involves exploiting the lateral blind spots of their targets, utilizing their explosive payloads not only to kill, but to physically herd the convoy, forcing the surviving drivers into panicked, erratic maneuvers that will ultimately cause fatal crashes. The remaining 5 drones drop dangerously low, skimming the uneven earth at a mere 10 meters above the ground to form the relentless pursuit pack. They are programmed to attack directly from the rear, abandoning any pretense of stealth. Their calculated purpose is to overwhelm the acoustic and visual senses of the trailing riders with the sheer mechanical terror of screaming plastic propellers filling their rearview mirrors. The trap, is now perfectly set. The invisible radar beam from a Russian Tunguska system, a formidable piece of mobile anti-aircraft artillery specifically placed to guard the high-speed assault, furiously scans the sky at precisely 1 minute past 5 o'clock in the morning local time. Its electromagnetic sweep passes through the exact physical space the Ukrainian drones occupied just 2 seconds ago, yet the operator detects absolutely nothing on his screen. The incoming swarm is currently flying well beneath his radar horizon, deliberately obscured by the natural curvature of the Earth and the heavy visual clutter of the cratered terrain. 7 drones remain safely in the 80-meter altitude zone, and 5 are hugging the dirt at 10 meters, rendering them completely invisible to conventional sweeps. But the Russian radar operator intuitively feels that something is terribly wrong, as the pre-dawn night remains overly quiet. There is no returning artillery fire, nor are there any mortar shells whistling through the air, but he does not yet realize that this silence is far from peace. In this precise moment, the drone flight controller executes its final terminal commands with the unthinking mechanical obedience of a wind-up toy. It instructs the motors to point the nose directly at motorcycle number 4, maintain a velocity of 42 meters per second, and detonate instantly upon making physical contact. As the lethal swarm rapidly closes in on the convoy, the 17 Russian soldiers riding their motorcycles proceed under the false assumption that they are protected by a mobile air defense network that costs significantly more than Ukraine's entire drone program. The first layer of this defensive umbrella is the Tunguska system, positioned exactly 1 kilometer behind the lead motorcycle. This $15 million tracked vehicle theoretically possesses the firepower to shred an Apache attack helicopter or a heavily armored Warthog close air support jet from a distance of 8 kilometers. Its powerful radar emits sufficient microwave energy to cook small birds instantly in midair. However, the unforgiving laws of physics are completely indifferent to glossy military marketing claims. At the present drone altitudes of 10, 50, and 80 meters, the Tunguska's search radar is effectively sightless. Locating massive buildings or armored columns is one thing, but pinpointing a 1-kilogram plastic target amidst the chaotic electronic noise generated by dense trees, jagged rocks, deep drainage ditches, and cold night air pockets is an entirely different technological challenge. By the time the incoming drones could theoretically appear on the main screen, they would have less than 40 seconds until impact. There is more than enough time to react if the system is tracking a massive lumbering helicopter, but it is definitively not sufficient for a decentralized drone swarm that the computer cannot even acquire a solid radar lock on. The Tunguska's combat computer rapidly reviews its internal threat database, scanning through 10,000 different aircraft and missile signatures. A heavy attack helicopter registers instantly, and a low-flying jet fighter poses no identification problem. However, a simple quadcopter with the radar signature of a large goose, traveling at the speed of a civilian propeller plane, is completely absent from the Russian database. The system automatically classifies the incoming data as unknown anomalies, or worse, completely filters it out as background electronic noise. At exactly 3 minutes past 5 o'clock, the Tunguska radar operator watches a solitary contact abruptly materialize on his primary screen, sending an immediate chill down his spine. The telemetry reads 4 kilometers out, an altitude of 30 meters, and a sustained speed of 141 kilometers per hour. His specialized air defense training instantly kicks in, telling him that a standard surface-to-air missile travels at Mach 2, not 141 kilometers per hour. A combat helicopter boasts a radar signature 100-fold larger than this tiny blip, and it certainly does not fly at a mere 30 meters during a frontal assault. A large bird simply does not fly in such a mathematically perfect, unyielding straight line. Suddenly, absolute hell breaks loose on his thermal display as the entire Ukrainian formation clears the terrain masking. It is a mechanical plague, as if someone violently opened a floodgate and allowed a swarm of thermal wasps to rain down from the pitch-black sky. The optical sensors are completely flooded with identical heat signatures filling the entire viewfinder. The operator's brain can barely process the staggering numbers his trembling finger traces across the glowing screen. 5, 10, 15, 17 distinct contacts spread perfectly across a 1-kilometer front. The range counter acts like an apocalypse clock ticking relentlessly backward. The operator does not ask his commanding officer for authorization, as there is absolutely no time for such bureaucratic hesitations. His thumb, drenched in cold sweat, violently slams down on the red automatic fire button. The interceptor missile launches, but the radar lock flickers and fails. The missile streaks past the drone in the darkness. From the rear of the rapidly moving convoy, the motorcycle passengers raise their AK-12 assault rifles into the air. Tracer rounds streak upward in desperate arcs. The Tunguska cannons thunder to life, but the targets are simply too small and too fast. One drone is destroyed by chance, leaving 16 still racing toward the convoy. The formation instantly recalculates. At exactly 7 minutes past 5 o'clock, the defensive fire stops. 16 drones descend. At precisely 8 minutes past 5 o'clock, the lead drone strikes motorcycle number 4. The Shapovnik jammer explodes in a violent eruption of superheated gas and shrapnel. The motorcycle vaporizes under the blast. Burning fragments spin across the steppe. The convoy collapses into chaos. 15 remaining drones strike almost simultaneously. Explosions ripple across the formation like a chain reaction of lightning. Motorcycles collide. Riders lose control. Engines scream and metal tears across the frozen ground. At 10 minutes past 5 o'clock, the bike carrying the C4 breaching charge detonates in a massive, boiling liquid expanding vapor explosion. A towering fireball rises over the steppe, lighting the battlefield like a second sunrise. When the fire finally fades, the open ground where the assault formation once raced forward is filled with burning wreckage and scattered debris. The drone swarm, having expended its entire payload, no longer exists. The small machines have completed their purpose and vanished in fragments of plastic and carbon fiber.